Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Air Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about something that has been escalating for quite a bit. Now, I have talked a lot of shit about DC. I have. I made videos talking about Ezra Miller choking people. I have not talked about the Amber Heard situation. No, I've talked about the Amber Heard situation with Johnny Depp. I've talked about a lot of stuff. But the one topic I really haven't talked about that I honestly didn't want to speak on because I didn't want to know how far it was going to go. Like, you know, it didn't seem like maybe it was going to get resolved. I'm not sure. Was the Ray Fisher situation. Now, if you don't know who Ray Fisher is, he's the actor who portrayed Cyborg in the Justice League movie. He's also coming back to do reshoots as Cyborg in the Snyder Cut. Now, if you don't know this, which is why I'm making this video, because I haven't talked about it. Now, it's a bit old news and a bit new news because he's still making noise about this. But if you don't know this, a few years back, HBO was going through, Warner Brothers was going through a lot. First of all, they had very recently got bought by AT&T, which I talk about a lot. I want people to understand this. Warner Brothers isn't Warner Brothers anymore. It's AT&T working Warner Brothers like a sock puppet. That's basically what it is. So AT&T bought Warner Brothers. They were going through a lot of stuff. And a lot of executives in fear and not knowing what to do, Justice League was not ready to go. Justice League, once they had to let go Zack Snyder, and granted, it was like the release of Zack Snyder was multiple things. It was two things mainly. One, they didn't like what happened. They didn't like the response to BVS. That's what changed everything. Warner Brothers did not like the response to BVS because if BVS would have gotten rousing applause and a huge response and made over $1 billion and made well over $1 billion, Zack Snyder would have never gotten taken off that project. That project would have got delayed. They would have been like, we're going to wait for him to get done grieving over the loss of his daughter. But they wanted to get rid of him anyways. Them wanting to get rid of him coincided, sadly, with the death of his daughter. So he needed time away to deal with the death of his daughter, and they wanted to get rid of him. Because of what I remember from that time, because I was watching stuff when in 2000, when this happened. I was paying attention to things when this happened. I was doing YouTube videos still. I was doing YouTube videos when this shit was going on. I didn't talk about this topic, but I knew about this stuff. When this stuff was going on, Zack Snyder wanted to work on Justice League to get his mind off of the death of his daughter, but they wanted to fire him anyways, using the death of his daughter as the reason why they fired him, when in fact they wanted to get rid of him because they did not like the response to BVS, and they were like, no, we're not going to let you continue to do what you've been doing because obviously people don't like that shit. Get out of here. That's what happened. And like I said, they used that as an excuse, but that's pretty much what happened. And they brought in Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon, Avengers, the first Avengers, and Avengers Age of Ultron, Buffy, Firefly, Uncanny X-Men. Joss Whedon, aka a lot of people call him the King of Nerds. At the time, the King of Nerds. Because, he had that reputation. Now, his reputation had been getting a bit... Now Whedon had left Marvel because he felt burnt out. He felt like he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. And now it's kind of been revealed in recent years that that's pretty much because of Ike Perlmutter. But at the time, we didn't know what was going on. We were like, man, Marvel might be fucking up. They just lost their golden goose. They lost Joss Whedon. What are they going to do? And Warner Brothers brought Whedon on to make Justice League more like the Avengers. The movie turned out to be a complete piece of shit. Everyone kind of was like, because it was a Frankenstein movie. The movie should have been delayed and reimagined, and at least given Whedon time to rewrite it, redo it, come up with his own, But they really just gave him half the time it took to actually do anything. He had to rewrite and redo a lot of this shit, and he ended up getting a Frankenstein just stitched together movie that turned out to be a piece of shit movie called Justice League. That had one good scene in it, which was the whole Superman slow motion scene. But other than that, it was a pretty bad movie, and that's what happened in Justice League. So we just thought that was behind us. Justice League ends, DC kind of goes on a little hot streak. It's announced we're doing the Snyder Cut. We think it's nothing big. And then a couple months back, maybe even 5 months back, at least maybe even that far back, maybe a little further, Ray Fisher, aka the actor who plays Cyborg, started to say loud accusations at Joss Whedon, claiming that he was unprofessional, claiming that he threatened his career, claiming that Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns, who, if you don't know who Jeff Johns is, which you probably do if you follow me, Jeff Johns was the guy who was running DC Comics. He's the guy who wrote a lot of the best Green Lantern stuff. Like, basically any of the best Green Lantern stuff in like the last 6 to 10 years, it probably came from Jeff Johns. He's wrote a lot of great DC comics. Like, I'm telling you, like, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who would disagree. Jeff Johns wrote a lot of great DC stuff. And him and Kevin Feige were cut from kind of underneath the same learning tree. So a lot of people thought Jeff Johns was just going to transition and become the Kevin Feige of DC. Like, go from comics to the movies. And clearly it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And recently, Jeff Johns, like maybe even a couple of years ago, got pretty much taken off of every project. He got his name taken off of almost every project except for Wonder Woman 84, which he was a co-writer on, which could explain the shitty writing in that. So there's a bit of that could be Jeff Johns' fault. But anywho, yeah, like he claimed he had a lot of stuff to claim at Joss Whedon, and at first we didn't know what to believe or not. We didn't want it to be a situation where this is a black actor who's claiming that he's being fucked over by this dude, and we don't want to take it lightly. We don't want to just we want to okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's find out what's going on. And Walter Hamada, who is the CEO of Warner Brothers, or as I call him, the head sock puppet, Walter Hamada, said that he had a investigation into it. Which, to be fair, Joss Whedon has been taken off of basically every project ever since the investigation. Joss Whedon's got his own problems going on, anyways. He just went through a divorce because he was cheating on his wife. I don't know. But anywho. And Joss Whedon got taken off every Warner Brothers project he was on. He was supposed to do a Batgirl movie that never happened. Like, we don't even know what's going on with the Batgirl thing because Joss Whedon was supposed to be doing it, but now he's not. And we haven't heard from him. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen a tweet from him. Joss Whedon, I don't remember the last time I saw Joss Whedon. It's been a while. Last time I saw Joss Whedon was at the Thor Ragnarok premiere. That's the last time I saw Joss Whedon. I don't know where he was. I don't know where he's been. But he, like I said, he is like, I don't know. He seems like he might be a toxic kind of individual to touch right now. Maybe. I don't know. It just kind of seems that way. Because he's been off of every project. We have no clue where he is. No one's seen him. No one's heard from him. These investigations have taken place. He's gotten taken off of everything. Which either means that he's just like, I'd rather not work on none of this shit. Or they found something. Either way, everyone thought it was okay. Joss Whedon's been taking off all these projects. They a couple of weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago, they said that their investigation concluded. And Ray Fisher, was talking about how they've been talking and whatnot, and been trying to see what was going on. He's talking to Walter Hamada and how things are going on the Snyder cut, and how Snyder's gonna do some other stuff. How hopefully they can get more stuff out of the Snyder cut and they can do more things. And the reason I haven't talked about this is because I can't make heads and tails of Ray Fisher. The man hasn't really been in a lot. And two things are legit 50-50. Either A, he's telling the truth, and he had an awful experience on set with Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon was completely over the line and unprofessional, and he had a rough time, a really bad time, and to such a degree where it could be considered harassment, and he was harassed on set by his director. Or he's completely full of shit. He wants his attention, and he's happy to get it. Because I've seen these situations before. I've seen Uma Thurman say something about Tarantino while filming Kill Bill because, Tarantino almost got her killed filming Kill Bill. I've seen these situations before. And, where actors come out and talk about situations with, with people. But it's very interesting that he continues, not only does he continue to bring it up, he continues to say vague things like, I can't talk about it, but stuff is happening. He continues to say, and just last week he was talking about how Walter Hamada, the CEO of Warner Brothers, is the scariest liar there is because he's an enabler and he hides things. And it's just like, where did that come from? It was out of nowhere. Like, it seemed like everything was okay. It seemed like they got rid of the problem, but it's insane. He keeps posting up this thing, like something along the lines of accountability over profitability. And I'm just like, dude, this is insane. Why do you keep continuing to bring this shit up? Why does Ray Fisher continue to keep bringing this up? Then you have people like Jason Momoa and Wonder Woman who aren't coming out and fully saying, yeah, man, Joss Whedon's crazy. But they're like, well, I can see why. But they're basically, in a nutshell, like, I can see what you mean. I know what you're talking about. Something happened that was weird. But it won't weird enough for them to feel bad about it, which is why it makes me think that it might be a him thing. Because Jason Momoa, because you gotta understand, Jason Momoa and Wonder Woman have such big, and Gal Gadot have such big movies. I mean, maybe not Wonder Woman 84, but they did. Well, she did have a big movie. They're a big star. Well, I don't know if Gal Gadot's a star, but let's just, for the sake of the conversation, say they're stars. If fucking Joss Whedon had done something shady, you don't think they would have put his ass on blast with the power they had? You don't think they would have got him out of there? But it's the fact that it's Ray Fisher raising this hell. You haven't heard anything from Ben Affleck. You haven't heard anything from Henry Cavill. Snyder hasn't even really talked about it, though I have heard Patty Jenkins kind of throw shade at Joss Whedon as well. It's kind of crazy what happened to Joss Whedon. About 8 years ago, maybe? How long ago did Avengers come out? 2012? Yeah, like 9, 8 years ago? He was a god! If you had told me 9, 8 years ago that Joss Whedon would be the outcast, from the comic book movie genre, would lose his credibility as a feminist leader, because you can't hardly be calling yourself a feminist leader when you think of women as cattle. But I'm just saying, look, you can be a player all you want to, but you can't be a feminist leader and be a player. That don't work. You can't do both. You can't be like, man, I love banging these girls, but you can't do both. So I don't know. Like I said, a couple of people have come out in his defense, but it's a tough situation. And I really wanted to talk about it because I realized, like, the other day I hadn't talked about it, and because I keep seeing stuff, because recently, just today, I saw something about Cyborg being recast. And that's why I felt like making this video, because I feel like some people are going to see that and be like, yo, why is Cyborg being recast? And I want to explain it to you in this video. This is why Cyborg is being recast. Probably because Ray Fisher does not want to play ball with Walter Hamada, and Walter Hamada is the CEO of Warner Brothers, and Ray Fisher is pissed off about something that either happened or didn't happen. You make up your mind. Is he full of shit, or is he standing up or is he trying to stand up to a bully who fucked with him on set and who made his life hell? The way, like, it's either or. Like, it feels like, man, you know what it feels like? Either A, it was worse than what he's talking about, and that's why he won't leave it alone, because it was really that bad. Or B, Josh said one snarky thing to him, one nasty snarky thing to him, and he held on to that, and he expanded the entire thing around this one thing Josh said to him. There's no way of knowing. We weren't there. And as Ray Fisher has said many times, I think it's called an NDA. He keeps saying that his NDA won't allow him to say anything. So it's impossible to know. It's why it makes it shady, because you're like, you keep telling me this horrible thing happened to you, but you're not going to tell me what the fuck the horrible thing was. So I don't know what to say, man. All I know is Warner Brothers, DC, it's all drama. I love it all, except for, well, no one's dead, so I love it all. Thank you guys for watching the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and do you believe Ray Fisher? And do you believe he will be recast? Thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show again. Please remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.